Welcome back to second half action from Port Huron High School with our score. The Huskies 34, the Big Reds 29. Well, Sean, kind of a difference in halves. Port Huron Northern jumped out to an early 4-0 lead. After that, it was all Port Huron High as they led 28-18. Northern goes on a 14-0 run. They lead by 5. What seemed to be the turnaround for the Huskies?
Well, I don't think there's any question that Rob Nessel asserting himself underneath, not only scoring some points, but getting some rebounds on both ends of the floor, really opening things up a little bit for Northern, and they got good, solid shots.
Adler takes it strong to the hole. Brian, who struggled in the first half with only 2 free throws, and that's his first basket of the night. Biggest lead of the night by the Huskies. They lead by 7. Port Huron High starts out with Rosenau, Ratchie, Cates, Barry, and Tony Washington. Coach Hanton counters with Oliaga, Schock, Adler, Weston, and Rob Nessel, number 44.
I think the halftime helped Port Huron High a little bit. They look patient. They're not trying to force anything yet.
Ratchie from way outside, really not his shot, Sean.
No, that wasn't a good idea. An open shot, but you'd like to see him get a little closer to the basket.
Well, the other thing that does is without Jared underneath the basket, there's no rebounding really for Port Huron High right now. Washington goes baseline, tries to dish it back to Cates. He does. 2 points for Chris Cates.
From Tony Washington.
I like what Tony Washington did there. Port Huron High had gotten away from that a little bit. He drew players to him and kicked the ball back out. In the end of that second quarter, we saw them forcing those kind of shots, and they weren't going to fall.
Cates turnaround jumper won't go. Rebound shot, but stripped away by Washington. Lays it up and good. There's a case of somebody just wanting it more than the other player. And a foul on Mr. Barry. I believe that's his third.
Foul, number 15, Jeff Barry. That's his second, team's first in the second half.
Public address announcer Rucker says it's only his second, so I'll abide by that. Quick halftime, half the crowd's still down getting their popcorn and pop. Especially the band. The Port Huron High band hasn't made its way back into the gymnasium yet.
The band kept things rocking pretty well through the halftime. I think they're getting a quick break for themselves. I don't think they want to miss too much of this game, though.
And hopefully our earlier condensation problem at center court will alleviate itself here.
Saw some ball boys during the halftime wiping up, spent a lot of time out there on the floor with some towels, making sure that there's no wet spots.
Well, normally when these two teams tangle, it's going to go down to the last 2 or 3 minutes like a pro basketball game. It's, in the pros, you just turn it for the last 3 minutes. You can catch all the action that you want. Oliaga, nice move to Weston. He'll count if it goes, but he'll shoot 2 anyway.
It'll be interesting to see if Port Huron High can get anybody off again, like possibly Jeremy Rogan had a tough time toward the end of that first half.
Big red foul,
If they can get somebody to get a hot hand, it'll open up some of that inside play, and they'll be able to get some better shots. But they're going to have to knock down a couple jumpers before Northern really starts worrying about it.
That's an interesting strategy this year by Coach Mosier to bring Rogan off the bench. I mean, let's face it, Rogan's a starter on about any team in the area or in the MAC Red Division. Bring him off the 6th man, but he's the leading scorer out there, and it seems to work, and that's why Coach Mosier has employed it this year.
Definitely changes the complexion of the game when he gets in there. Port Huron High almost lulls people to sleep. Sending the ball around to different players, so really don't know who to focus on.
Basket by Matt, shot, assist, Matt.
Then when Rogan comes in there, they're so concerned about the ball moving around to everybody, all of a sudden he's there popping shots.
Northern with the tough man-to-man pressures. Washington goes strong to the hoop, gets his own rebound, too strong again. Ripped away by Nessel and Cates. And we're going to have a jump ball.
Following the possession arrow, the Big Reds will inbound.
Big Reds favor the possession
Big
arrow.
Red substitution, number 25, Jeremy Rogan.
I think we're going to see a lot more bodies hitting the floor here. Not necessarily intentional, but just good aggressive play going for the loose balls.
Rogan checks in for the Big Red. Shot won't go by Barry. Nessel, nice rebound, and he's fouled by, I believe, 23, Chris Cates. Pardon me, it's on Barry, his third.
Red foul, number 15, Jeff Barry. His third, team's third.
Jeff Barry has picked up 2 quick fouls here in the opening 2 minutes of the third quarter. Port Huron High cannot afford to lose him. Northern does a good job breaking it over the timeline. Nice pass by Adler down low to Nessel. Can't get it to go, gets his own rebound, puts it back up. Northern wanted a foul, didn't get it, out of bounds to Northern.
A little bit surprising there. It looked like Rob Nessel went out of his way to avoid contact. He'd have been better off to take that ball up a little stronger. If you got the contact, get to the line. If not, hey, if they make a good defensive play on you, they make it. Just go up and play your game.
Well, he's a horse. He can drag you with him. And Weston and Schock didn't have a meeting of the minds that time.
Big Red substitution, number 41, Cornelius
Fields going to check in for Chris Cates. Almost a near steal by Nessel. We got Tony Washington and Matt Oliaga going at it underneath. Out of bounds to Port Huron High. Well, these kids know each other, you know, year in and year out. So,
yes, they do. I think the referee's spending a few moments talking with Tony Washington just to make sure the aggression doesn't get a little bit too much.
Field off balance, won't go. Rebound Adler. Well, the rest have really let it go. They've let him play, but a little rough underneath the last couple times down. Oliaga can't get it to go. Rebound Ranchi.
Solid
pick.
block.
What
Solid
a pick by
pick
Field on Schock, and Schock can feel that. They're going to... Matt Schock, I don't know if he knows he's still on the court. He took a mean pick by Cornelius Field.
Port Huron High did a nice job once they recognized the player was down for Port Huron Northern of attacking.
Big Red foul, number
I can't remember the last time before that Port Huron High really had a good look at the basket that close.
Schock's going to come out. He's a little woozy. Ryan Cogley's going to check in for him.
Northern substitution.
I wish we had instant replay up here because it looked like it was a clean pick.
Very much so. Field had set his ground. Schock just didn't even see it. He ran right into him, and then he hit the deck.
We got bodies on the floor again with Nessel and Field.
Field has created a nice inside presence for Port Huron High right now. In the first couple of minutes of this half, Northern got some nice shots, real close to the basket. Field's keeping Nessel a little bit further out from the basket right now, and Northern's having to send the ball around the perimeter.
Good give and go to Aliaga, lays it up and in.
Aliaga, assist for Trevor Weston.
Weston doing a nice job dishing off. Nice block by Nessel. And Rob Nessel just playing a whale of a ball game so far. (42-35) our score. Northern with a 7-point lead with 3:30 remaining in the third quarter here from Port Huron High School. Field lays it up and gets the kind roll.
Field from Jeremy Rogan.
Field first 2 points of the evening.
He had a bucket just a minute ago, actually, after his solid pick.
That's the one I missed.
I know you were concerned about Matt Schock's well-being at that point in time.
At least that'll bring my stat sheet up to snuff, Sean. Thank you. Field one-hander, can't get it to go. Out of bounds to the Big Reds. See, I like Cornelius Field. He's a wide body underneath, does a good job defensively, but he's a one-handed shooter. I don't like seeing him. His range is kind of like Nestle's, just underneath the basket,
Get close to
basically.
the basket.
Okay, like right there. Right there. That's his range right there. Or pardon me, that was Rogan there. Field should not be taking those shots from 10, 15-foot jump shots. He's not that type of player.
That's right. Get to the basket.
Northern foul, number 30, Ryan Cogley. His third, team's first in the second half.
What's interesting about this game is Northern has really assumed control of the tempo. It's really a half-court game right now. And I don't know who George Moser might want to bring off his bench to shake things up. Jeff Giles, little jitterbug a little bit in that first half when he came out there. He may want to bring him out again just to shake things up, see if they can't speed this game up a little bit.
Well, I agree. A half-court game favors Northern. They want to slow the tempo down, take their time in the basket. Port High wants to get into a running game. And so far, Northern's done a good job keeping with their game plan. And we got a push. Good call by the referee Pennington that time on Tony Washington. It's getting real physical out there.
Certainly is.
Big red foul, number 11, Tony Washington.
And we expected that.
His third, team's fifth.
Good double team and a foul on Barry, his fourth. And I'll tell you, we've still got 10 minutes and 32 seconds to play, and Jeff Barry's going to have to take a seat. And I think Jeff Barry will be on the sidelines for about a good 6-7 minutes.
I would think so. And an interesting thing at this point, too, charting the fouls for both teams. Port Huron High sitting at 6. The next one sends Northern into the bonus. Northern surprisingly committed just one foul this half with all the contact that we've had.
Northern being very patient. Nice block by Field.
Boy, I like that matchup in the middle with Field and Nessel.
And Schock's going to pick up the foul as he hit Washington on the arm. Chris Manuelo is going to check in, number 12 for Coach Hannon.
His second, team's second.
And Rob Nessel's going to take a breather.
Northern substitution, number 12, Chris Manuelo.
Well, the difference has been the play of Nessel, but also a presence that really wasn't heard from early on is Matt Oliaga, unofficially with 7 points tonight. I think Matt only averages about 2-3 points a game, even though he starts. And he's done all his baskets basically have been cuts to the basket, easy bunnies, but doing a nice job. And we don't say his name much, but Matt Oliaga is playing a whale of a game here tonight, too.
That's right, slashing to the basket. He's got a good rapport with Trevor Weston right now. Like you mentioned in the first half, it's a good idea to keep Weston on the floor. He's their floor general. He's going to see those guys cutting to the basket.
And Oliaga on that rebound, Field all over his back. And the 17th foul already on Port Huron High. And I'm going to make a prediction right now, Sean, with 1:46 to go. Again, Northern's only up by 3. They're going to be shooting free throws here forever. This fourth quarter is going to take forever due to the free throw shooting every time High commits a foul. If Northern can make the free throws, they will be in this game, possibly win this ball game. They don't make the free throws, High's going to beat them at the buzzer.
Make their free throws, protect the ball. Eventually, Port Huron High is going to come with some extreme pressure. Northern has to be prepared for that.
And you know, even though Port Huron High really hasn't played all that well, they only trail by 4, and basically you've got Barry on the bench. We haven't heard a whole lot from Jeremy Rogan, even though he has about 9 points. And I think we got a foul on Oliaga this time.
Northern foul number 14.
Only the third team foul on Northern.
The second team's third.
But that's a good move by Jeremy Rogan on that one. Like I said, we know Northern's going to be shooting some free throws. If Port Huron High wants to shoot some free throws, they're going to have to get hit in the act of shooting. He took it right to the basket. They have to be aggressive.
A lot of time for both these teams. Rogan in double figures. Nice box out by Schock underneath the basket. And over-aggressive play on Rogan. Oh, pardon me.
Nope.
I thought it was going to be a foul on Rogan, so did he. He kind of forced Trevor Weston out of bounds, and they called it out of bounds to Port Huron High.
I think Weston's a little annoyed with that call too, but
you get those on your home court, I guess. Rogan, NBA three-pointer, yes. And if he starts lighting them up, we're going to have a different ball game as we're knotted at 43 with 1:11 to go in the third. Schock takes it strong, it'll count, but he'll shoot two. And to me, Northern, every time down the court, has got to go inside. They're going to be shooting free throws all night long.
Even if they weren't shooting free throws, that's what got them back in the game, getting the ball down low.
Matt Schock will shoot two.
Schock with 13 points tonight. Puts the Huskies back up by 2. And another turnover on the Big Reds. Coach Mosier scratching his head. Coach Giancarlo trying to tell his troops to just settle down.
Northern spreading the court right now, patient, which is a good move. Try to close this quarter with the lead.
.25 seconds to go in the third. Northern look like they're content to go. Oh, nice steal by Rogan. He's going to tie this ball game up.
Jeremy Rogan.
And if you're Northern, to me, you got to attack the basket. 4 seconds. Shot goes up from 10 feet. Won't go. Nice rebound by Field. And that's going to end the third.
After 3 quarters.
We started the game tied at 0. We're still tied. 24 minutes later with our score. 45-45. It's anybody's ball game in the remaining 8 minutes, Sean.
That's right. Right now, Jeremy Rogan has stepped it up for Port Huron High. Northern has to be frustrated at this point through. Most of that third quarter, they had things going their way. They got Port Huron High in foul trouble. They had the tempo of the game in their favor. Yet here we are, 8 minutes after halftime, when they were up by 5, and it's a tie ball game. They've got to be a little bit surprised by that.
Well, Rogan has made the last 5 points for Port Huron High. He's got 15 unofficial points here tonight. He had 26 the first time these two teams met. And Northern, I thought, did a good job on Rogan early in the ball game because they put 2-3 guys on him and really made Jeremy force up some shots that maybe he shouldn't have taken. Right now, he's getting good looks to the basket, and he's just aggressive. A nice steal that time over Trevor Weston. And if they can negate him, especially with Jeff Berry on the bench, he's really the only go-to guy for Port Huron High. You got to recognize that at your Northern. To me, on the opposite of your Northern, again, Schock's been hot. You got to keep giving him the ball. And
this game's really going to come down to who gets a second player to step up. That player may be Jeff Berry coming back off the bench in the last few minutes for Port Huron High. We've talked about Matt Oliaga coming in doing a few good things. Somebody has to step forward and make the difference here.
I noticed Coach Hatton has opened up with Brian Adler on the bench. Brian just struggling here offensively here tonight. Manuel, he just lost the ball that time. It wasn't really stripped away. Rogan's going to try to go coast to coast. What a move by Jeremy Rogan.
Beautiful left-handed lay-in.
That's why he'll be playing next year for somebody. Smith goes up strong. Thought he was going to get fouled. Didn't lay it up soft enough.
Look at Nessel keeping that ball alive for Northern. Even if he doesn't score from here on out, his presence underneath, rebounding, go a long way to help Northern even the series for the season.
Wester goes strong. He'll shoot 2, foul by Field.
Attention please, folks. Get your 50-50 tickets out, and our next opportunity we will announce the winning number. Get your tickets out.
Jeff Giles, Jared Radji check in for the Big Reds. Oliaga checks in for Manuelo.
Trevor Weston shoots 2.
Trevor's done a nice job with his assist ratio tonight. Weston splits the pair. Seven minutes to go, high by 1. Not a good decision by Rosenau. I don't know where that was coming from, Sean.
Well, he pulled up just short of the mid-court line, and then he had to get rid of the ball. He stopped his dribble.
Got to be an offensive foul. No, we're going to call traveling instead.
Technical.
And a technical foul on Matt Schock. Not a good time to have that. Referee Pennington with the quick whistle. Matt was right next to him, so he heard whatever he said. Matt's going to have a seat and cool down a little bit.
I think Matt was thinking along the same lines you were. Definitely contact on the shot. There would have been a foul had he not traveled first, which he did. And that's the kind where you got to run back down court shaking your head instead of saying something to the ref.
Giles misses the first. Jeff Giles will be in the paper tomorrow as he's on the board with 1 point here tonight. Good double team by Northern. Forces Portland High to use a timeout with 6:38, and the Big Reds up by 2.
Here's the winning ticket number. That number is 9.
Looks like Northern may be going back to the half-court trap. If they do that, that created so many problems for Port Huron High in that first half. It may be just what Northern needs to get over the hump here.
Well, last night in women's volleyball action, we cover it all here on Channel 6, don't we, Sean? Women's volleyball at Port Huron Northern. Two of the best teams in the county year in and year out. Port Huron Northern entertained the Marysville Vikings, and Marysville came away victorious, I believe, by the scores of 15-6, 15-11.
Actually, I think it made it 15-9 in the second game, right?
And Marysville, again, I believe is the top team in the area this year in women's volleyball, and they proved it last night on the home court of the Lady Huskies.
Yes, they did. They're such a strong team. They win like that. You look at the scores, it sure looks like a convincing win, but you can see that Marysville has its eyes set a little further down the road because they're not quite satisfied with the effort that they gave. Actually, they liked the effort, but they weren't pleased with, they made some more mistakes than they would have thought they would have, and they're talking about fixing those mistakes. They're not talking about getting a big win.
Nice steal by Trevor.
Nice job by Nessel not to have a backcourt violation going over and back.
Oliaga, nice rebound off the miss. Nessel's real strong. And he bowls his way to two. Rob Nessel.
Rob Nessel.
Just like you talked about Field on the other end, he knows his shot selection. He's going to get right down there by the basket.
Good hands by Oliaga to knock it away. Again, it's been Oliaga and Nessel have really stepped up their performance here. Probably their best games of the year. Adler's shot blocked by Sarai. And we got a jump ball.
Following the possession arrow, the Big Reds will inbound.
Good hustle on both teams that time.
Big
Giles,
Reds
the smallest
substitution,
player
number
on the
1,
court.
Tony Washington.
I can relate to that.
I tell you, those small guys, they don't look at all imposing until they start moving. He's quick. That's a little bit
Small
intimidating
guys
all
never-
by itself.
Small guys never get enough credit, right, Sean?
That's true.
Since we both stand about, what, 5'7", 5'8", whatever. Three-pointer by Rogan, yes.
3-point basket, Jeremy Rogan. Assist, Jeff Berry.
A little bit surprised Northern let him stand there right at the top of the key alone.
And that's why High's never out of a ball game when Jeremy Rogan can shoot like that. Another steal by the Big Reds. Northern's probably going to get shocked back into the ball game here during the next whistle, I would imagine. Nice steal by Nessel. Under 5 minutes to go. Portland high by 3. It's been a seesaw battle here in the fourth quarter. Adler post down low, tries to put it up over Sarai, can't get it to go.
Nice
Ryan
defense
Adler
by
just
Sarah.
struggling tonight.
That was beautiful defense. Held his position, stood straight up. Couldn't ask for anything more than that.
But Bryant comes back and plays nice defense there. Leads to a turnover. Matt Shack will indeed return. Let's see who's going to come in for.
Northern substitution, number 40, Matt Schott.
Going to come in for Nessel.
For the
Chris
Big
Cates
Reds,
is going to come in
number
for the Big
43,
Reds
Chris Cates.
for Ratchie. Oliaga goes up strong, tough shot, in and out. Bad pass though by Cates. Cogley from 10, no, rebound Cates. Two good looks that time by Northern, just couldn't get it to fall.
That's what they want. Keep shooting those ones right down in there. Like we
And
mentioned
Jeff Berry, who's been on the bench with 4 fouls, takes it to the hole and he'll shoot
Northern
2.
foul, number 30, Ryan Cogley. His 4th and the team's 5th.
Smith's going to check in for Cogley. We're going to
Northern
have a
substitution,
timeout on the floor
Number 20,
with
Greg
3,
Smith.
5 to go in the ball game.
Huskies have
With
taken
a
their
score,
second
the Big
timeout.
Reds 51, the Northern Huskies 48. Well, Channel 6, we bring you action next Friday night at Portland Northern High School as the Huskies entertain Sterling Heights Stevenson. That's next Friday, the 24th of January, 7:30 from Portland Northern. Well, Sean, what else haven't we done? We covered hockey, we covered women's volleyball, we covered, I don't know, there's no badminton teams or anything like that, so I don't know what,
Well, the wrestling.
wrestling.
There's
What's going
You
on
know
with
what?
wrestling?
I know that everyone around the area is talking about how Port Huron High has brought their wrestling program along. Every invitation that they're going to, they've been a force. They've been in the top 6, 7, 8 teams. And that doesn't sound like anything tremendous, but considering that they haven't been nearly that competitive for quite some time, they're proud of what they're accomplishing, and they're moving that program in the right direction.
Also next weekend, I'll put in a plug for the Silver Stick Hockey Tournament resumes at McMorran That's next Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Starting on Thursday, I believe the 23rd. Also, Sean, not too early to start thinking about possibly overtime with these two teams, the way the game's been so close.
That's true. We could be here for a little while longer, especially considering the foul situation. Northern will be shooting 2 every time they get fouled now. It'll be double bonus.
Adler goes up strong, puts it in.
Northern
Ryan Adler.
Ryan Adler.
Adler almost on a near steal. Cornelius Field's going to come in for
Number
Cates.
41, Cornelius Field.
I think this is a solid unit for Port Huron High right now. They've got some scorers in Rogan and Barry. They got Chris Sarai and Cornelius Field playing solid defense and rebounding well underneath.
Rogan, tough three-pointer. Rebound Sarai. Ripped away by Matt Oliaga. Nice feed into shot. Count the basket. And Matt Schock will go to the line. But again, that was all set up by the fine assist by Trevor Weston.
Definitely. He just held the ball. He knew someone would be coming, and he just waited patiently for that person to get there.
Tony Washington, his 4th, team's 10th.
Unofficially, Matt Schock with 15. Nessel's going to check back in.
Another substitution, number
for
44,
Smith.
Rob Nessel.
2:56 to go. We're knotted at 52.
Whoa. Looked like it may have been over and back, and that's what the Northern bench is shouting about. Barry put 1 foot over the line and then passed back.
He's got to look for Rogan. I don't think he's got to take the 3 every time either. Just give it to Jeremy and let him do something. Him or Barry. Mr. Barry lays it up. Hill will shoot 2 as he's hammered underneath. Tell you, Jeff Barry's a real thrasher to the hole. Slasher to the hole. You don't find that too much anymore, and he's so quick, and that's his game. And
that is his game, and it's important that he maintains that even when he has 4 fouls. Could just as easily gone the other way, and he could get a charging foul. But if that's the way you play the game, you've got to continue to do that.
Well, how big are free throws down the stretch here?
These coaches will say they're even bigger when you're missing them.
You know, kids just take those for granted. You know, look at Shaquille O'Neal can make $11 million a year, but can't make a free throw. That's just unbelievable. 2 big misses, but Barry gets his own rebound, tries to bank it in, too strong. Rebound Nessel, 1 man to beat. Got to foul him. Good foul by Tony Washington, sending Nessel to the line. Nothing he could do, really.
Now, almost came away with a clean swipe, too, but he was sure to at least get that ball away, even if it had to do with by hitting the arm.
That's his 5th.
Cates going to come in for Washington.
Substitution number 23, Chris Cates. Shooting 2 is Rob Nessel.
Well, the fans have been treated to a great game here tonight, that's for sure.
No question about it.
Nessel too strong on both of them. Both teams coming up empty the last 2 times at the charity stripe.
Getting a little bit tight here toward the end of the game. Early in the game, both squads seem to be hitting their free throws pretty well.
Barry hits it high by 1. 2 minutes to go. Weston goes to the hole strong. Tough shot, and he nails it. Trevor Weston. Off balance shot by Weston. Field goes up strong. Not the shot you want.
No. He got close to the basket, but he wasn't prepared to shoot when he let it go.
High, trying to cut to the basket. Nessel goes up strong. Looked like he got fouled. Got his own rebound. Fouled there, definitely. Rob Nessel just playing a strong game. Best I've seen this year.
Big red foul, number 41, Cornelius Field.
But he's got to make the free throws. He missed the last 2. These are big.
You have a hunch he'll be thinking about those too. The best thing he could do is just clear his mind and concentrate on his shooting.
A little more art, too. Cornelius Field picks up his 5th and fouls out with 1:23 to go. His team trailing by 1, and senior co-captain Jared Ratchey will check in for him. What I also find amazing when I watch high school basketball, Sean, is nobody seems to use their allotment of timeouts for some reason.
That's
you know,
true.
in a tight game, nobody.
They're all saving it for that last minute when those kids, they want the outlet. When they're getting trapped, when they can't get the right shot that they want. How many times have you seen a kid call a timeout that he doesn't have? I think that's happened so often in recent years that coaches tend to save them as much as possible.
2 big free throws by the senior Rob Nessel. Nessel in double figures tonight. Northern by 3, 1:15 to go. And a foul way out front, not a good foul. But again, Warrior High not in the bonus. They had 1 to give.
Big Reds now in the bonus. Jeff Berry will shoot 1 and 1.
Now, if you're High, you got to make them. If you're Northern, you got to box out big time. No pressure for Jeff Berry or Rob Nessel on those last free throws. To go. Northern by 1, 57-56. Northern in the double bonus. Port Huron High in the bonus, so both teams will shoot free throws on the foul situation. Tough shot by Weston. Fight for the rebound. Weston gets it back, puts it up. No good. Should have pulled it back up, puts it up again. No good. Oliago's going to get whistled for a foul. I think Trevor should have thrown it back outside to eat some clock.
He feels like he was getting some contact underneath there. Thought he was going to get to the free throw line.
Foul, number 14, Matt Oliaga.
But I was a little surprised on that initial drive, too. Didn't even think about dishing it off to anybody. Thought he had a shot, but he had some pretty good defense on him.
I think he got fouled underneath.
Chris Cates shoots 1 and 1.
Considering that the call they made on Nessel way out away from the basket just a short while ago, this was much more contact.
No good, rebound, Nessel. Got to help him out with the ball. Northern's going to call timeout with 46 seconds to go, and they lead by 1.
Northern has taken their 3rd timeout.
Well, Sean, what do you think both these coaches are telling their teams at the break here?
Well, I think both teams, as you said earlier, they know they're still going to get to the free throw line. 4 High is not going to sit back and let Northern just run out the clock by any means. Northern knows it's going to get to the free throw line. Both of those coaches are talking about, first and foremost, get the rebound to that free throw, that missed free throw. Secondly, protect the ball. The ball's your friend at this point. The other team's got it. It's a one-possession game for either team. So when you've got it, you guard it with your life.
Well, both these teams come into this game 4-3 overall. And it's just been a seesaw battle. We were knotted at 45 at the end of 3. It's been seesaw ever since. Jeff Berry and Jeremy Rogan have carried the offensive load from Port Huron High, while it's been Matt Schock and Rob Nessel for Northern. Northern still, Port Huron High still in that full court pressure. A steal. Weston thought he got fouled. Penalty by Rogan. No foul. I'll tell you, Weston's had a tough time there. Looked like he got hit. Got to give it up if you're Brian Adler. Call timeout.
Got to wonder, where is Trevor Weston? What's he doing over on this end of the court when the ball's in the backcourt?
Taking their final timeout.
Jeremy Rogan, a big steal that time.
You talked about it very early in the game, and it was a key observation. You want Trevor Weston handling the ball. If Trevor Weston's not handling the ball, that's when Northern gets into its turnover troubles. Port Huron High recognize that. I don't know if it's even a matter of recognizing it. They're putting on their pressure defense, and they're going after the ball regardless of who's got it. And right now, it's successful for them. They've got the 1-point lead.
Well, the Big Red faithful really into the game now as they're ahead by 1 with 24 ticks of the clock left. Nobody filing out of this game right now. This is probably going to come down to whoever's got the ball last.
Very well may, and it may end up at the free throw line. In a game last Friday here, the game came down to the end of regulation, and it came to Tony Washington with no time on the clock. Port Huron High down by 1. Hit the first of his 2 free throws, missed the second. The game went to overtime. They lost that one in overtime. I think that helped them push them. That was their second difficult loss right toward the end of the game in a row. Helped maybe push them over the top when they met Eisenhower earlier this week.
I think if you know, you got to get it down low, try to draw the foul here. 19 seconds to go. Schock wide open underneath. He's fouled. He'll shoot 2. No! A travel call! Oh my God, Coach Hatton is up off his feet. He thought Matt Schock was fouled. Northern can't believe it. From our vantage point, we're on the top of the perch there. I don't know.
I was a little surprised the whistle blew because I thought the initial block wasn't a bad block, but I got to say, I never saw his feet move.
Northern foul.
Well, that was.
40, Matt Schock.
Well, you know, you hate to have a referee decide the ball game for you one way or the other. But I'll tell you, that was a huge call for the Big Reds.
Jeremy
And
Rogan
just
will
as
take
huge against
one
the
timeout.
Huskies here. And if Rogan can hit one or definitely both, I think Northern may have to set something up.
The difficult thing, too, is Matt Schock's been one of your clutch performers in this second half. Right now, he's only got 13 seconds to clear that frustration out of his mind and come back to make something happen on the offensive end.
Northern's going to need a three-point attempt. Schock's going to have to take it. It'll count. Three-pointer short. Fight for the rebound underneath. Oliaga, but it comes away. Port Huron High's got it, and they will win it. As Barry lays it in just before the buzzer.
Our final
And
score.
Port Huron High
62
comes away with a
57.
62-57 victory tonight. And they're going to be talking about that call at the end of the game all winter long.
They sure
Sean,
will.
your final comments on tonight's contest.
Well, it's great to see the game come down to the end like it did. Like I said, unfortunate that The referee's call may have been the difference, but not to take anything away from Port Huron High. They made some plays at the end of the game. They took the ball away from Northern. In that last minute, what was it, 46 seconds or so, they're down by 1 and Northern's got the ball. They take it away. How many breakaway layups did we see? Port Huron High getting that last minute. They were the more confident team coming down the stretch.
Well, our players of the game for Port Huron High, Jeremy Rogan. For Port Huron Northern, Rob Nessel. We'd like to thank our directors tonight, Shelley Senick and Aaron Moak. On cameras, Robert Spencer, Preston Miller, Ed Scallion, and Chris, the Marshmallow Warcella. Again, our final score for Port Huron High. Port Huron High 62, Port Huron Northern 57. For Sean Quigley, this is Randy Fernandez. Have a pleasant good evening.